it's good to see you guys again. I know we've been seeing a lot of each other recently. I was just in Fort Frances a few weeks ago for an energy retailer awareness campaign, and I recognize many of you from attending that. There were about 40 people who attended, and it was a very good turnout. At that event, I was able to listen to your stories about hydro and natural gas retailers are making paying the bills even more difficult for families in our region. I heard stories from every community across the riding, including Dryden, Kenora, Sioux Lookout, Deer Falls, Emo, Rainy River, and everywhere in between. I'm committed to taking serious action when I arrive to Queen's Park to ensure that hydro and natural gas retailers are reined in and serious scrutiny is paid to the techniques that they use to sign people up into the long-term unaffordable contracts. And that's why I'm here tonight, in order to fight for you and to fight for our communities. I need your support, though, to be the next NDP candidate for Kenora-Rainy River. When I was here, I talked to many of you on your doorsteps, and I heard stories about the escalating hydro prices in our communities. I don't think that any of us thought that a bill for a service as essential as electricity or natural gas would cause so much grief, stress, and frustration. I certainly didn't expect to see the tears in people's eyes as they talked to me about having to choose between paying their electricity bill and keeping the heat on in their houses and putting food on the table. Unfortunately, this is a situation that many people in our communities are facing every day, and it's only getting worse. And it's not just the working poor who are facing this dire scenario. It's people with decent paying jobs who are finding prices escalating out of control. It's seniors, it's young families. I know many businesses in our region are on the verge of closing, not because of the volume of business declining or that the prices for their goods and services have gone up, but it's because they can no longer afford to pay their electricity bills. If there's one thing I can tell you, it's that seeing those faces and looking into your eyes and seeing the pain is only motivating me. It drives me to succeed, and it drives me to get results. I can say that it drives me to get results because I've had quite a bit of success canceling some of these nasty energy retailer contracts. I've helped hundreds of people to shorten or cancel their contracts without the atrocious fees that are imposed by these businesses. Just like energy retailers, we can bring electricity prices under control. The NDP has a plan, and you better believe that I will not rest until we have a not-for-profit energy utility for Northern Ontario where the price that we pay is the actual price to generate the electricity. This is possible because we already have our own grid in Northern Ontario, and we just need the government will to change it. There's another area where the NDP is taking the lead, and that's with forestry. There's a strong future ahead in our forest sector, and that's why Andrea Horvath and the NDP have proposed real changes that will set the economic conditions necessary to see the forest industry rebound and bring jobs back to our communities. A few months ago, Bill Morrow, who's the Liberal MPP for Thunder Bay Atikokan, gave us a glimpse of what the Liberal strategy is for the North. Does anybody remember what he said a few months ago? He said that the forest industry is dead. And then he said that us in Northwestern Ontario, we need to just accept it and move to Fort McMurray along with everybody else. I think that's disgusting. Bill Morrow is wrong, and Dalton McGuinty is wrong. The only one who is right on forestry is Andrea Horvath and the NDP team. Andrea and I know that the forest sector isn't dead. It's been mismanaged. It's been mismanaged by Dalton McGuinty and before him, Mike Harris. It's been mismanaged by two successive governments whose views on the North are that there aren't that many people up here or votes up here, so who cares what we think anyway? As your NDP member of provincial parliament, I will help bring hope back into the region. That's why I've dedicated a month earlier this year to help on John Rafferty's re-election campaign in Fort Frances, Emo, and Rainy River. I know John, and I know that he is committed, like I am, to bringing prosperity back to our communities. I know he's dedicated to protecting pensions, helping seniors in our communities, and that's why many of you saw me on your doorsteps. We need more NDP members of provincial and federal parliament because New Democrats want to stand up for what's right and what's fair in this world. That's also why I've worked on 13 NDP campaigns in the last 8 years. It's because of fairness. I've been on doorsteps in each and every community and road accessible First Nation in our riding and I've been to all of the fly-in First Nations in the far north. I've been on doorsteps in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, and I was there when the orange wave spread across Nova Scotia. I've been there because I'm a New Democrat, and for New Democrats, it's never about the name on the sign or the name on the buttons. It's about bringing hope, fairness, and justice to everyone, and that's a principle that's the same whether you're in Bedford, Nova Scotia, or Burnaby, British Columbia. I spent nearly every day last January to June at trade shows, hockey arenas, and doorsteps in every community in our riding to fight the HST, because that is also an issue of fairness. It is a tax that has penalized hardworking, everyday people on essential goods and services during a global recession. It's a tax that has severely jeopardized families and their ability to keep ahead of their bills, and it's also costing us jobs in our communities across the riding. A couple of months ago, I visited with a taxi company in Dryden, and I was told that before the HST, business was good. They had lots of money in the bank, and business was booming. Then came in the HST, and it added an extra 8 cents a liter on their gas. The money in the bank is now gone. Their financial security is gone. Within a couple of months, their business could also be gone. And that is the story that we're hearing right across the riding, and I want to change that. For 6 years, I've crisscrossed the riding, talking to residents, business owners, municipal leaders, and First Nations about the issues that matter to them. There are 51 First Nations in this riding, and I'm known on every single one of them. I've developed relationships with the people and with the leadership. I've listened to representatives from the Sue Hudson Literacy Council, and I've heard how they have to fight to just keep their funding going and to keep their doors open. I've met with representatives at the Dryden Children's Resource Center and learned how the provincial government is failing to properly address the unique challenges of providing daycare in the north. I also met with some of the representatives from the Mary Berkland Health Center in Ignis, and I listened about how the provincial government is forcing them to cut services because the provincial government is asking for more rent for a facility that's been literally falling apart at the seams. I've also been a part of community groups fighting to improve the lives throughout the Northwest. Whether it's Second Chance Pet Network in Dryden, Rescue North in Kenora, I understand the challenges these organizations face in providing animal control, pet adoption services, and education in our region. I've also chaired the board of directors for the Hoshizaki House Women's Shelter and Second Stage Housing in Dryden. I've seen how these organizations have to fight for support and how their facilities are on the verge of being condemned by the building inspector, despite providing these essential services to the community. I've been active with the Facebook group Join the Fight Against Hydro One rates, a community group that's aimed at telling the provincial government that people cannot afford escalating hydro rates. I've organized protests, I've worked with them in the media to gain the media spotlight that they need and raise important awareness of these issues. I didn't do these things to list them in a pamphlet or say them in a speech. I did them because I believe in fairness and I believe in the well-being of our communities. I believe that as individuals, we prosper when our communities prosper. I believe that we can all live better. I know it takes a lot of hard work to create a better and more prosperous community, but I can tell you that I'm not afraid of doing the hard work, and I very much look forward to doing that. And I believe that together we can, and that we will make a difference. And I ask for your support. Thank you.